Okay, this should be the final part of the everyday carry I have in my second gen Nissan Xterra. Before I talk about the items you see in front of you, I want to acknowledge a few other things that I'm not going to pull out of the truck, but I do keep in there. First of all, there's a first aid kit. I actually have the stock first aid kit that came with the Xterra. You probably know they all have one that is integrated into the rear hatch. I have that. I've made sure that it's up to date, and I've added a few extra little goodies in there. And then also I have a yoga mat, an extra large yoga mat that I cut to fit the rear of the vehicle. That keeps things from sliding around. Back there, the plastic that is the vehicle's, lines the whole rear is easy to clean, but it's really also easy for things to just slide around. And then on top of that, I keep an extra large moving blanket. Nothing fancy there, something I picked up at Harbor Freight, and I wear one out every year or so and replace it. But that could serve as a emergency blanket of some sort if I got stuck out in bad weather. But these other items I did want to cover because they're a little more unique. Some of them are anyway. We'll start with what's on the tarp here. I keep in the driver's side door card this Element fire extinguisher. This is a solid state item, should stay in good shape for a long time. If you haven't used one of these, I do recommend them. I think they're very compact and they meet all the requirements, but definitely watch the videos if you get one of these so you know how to operate it if and when you need it. I keep a roll of trash bags. I actually keep this in the rear of the vehicle in one of the little cargo bungee spots, but I always like to have some trash bags around, either for trash, dirty clothes, line a seat to keep it from getting too mucky. They're just handy. A good pair of leather gloves. This is an older pair I have that, they're just nice to have. These are actually made in the USA, and they're by a company, Sullivan Glove. I think they're in the Pacific Northwest. More expensive than what you'll find at your hardware store or your farm supply, but they are good gloves, and I do like buying USA made products when I can. I keep a dromedary of water in the vehicle most of the time, not in the winter necessarily because it'll freeze where I live, but this is I think a 6-liter dromedary, so plenty of water, especially if I'm going to go on a road trip. I will carry water. This just lays in the back of the vehicle. I've got an air hose here with a coupler, quick connect coupler. I do have an onboard air system. I think I've shown that in another video. So this stays in the back of the truck. And then the last stuff I keep up front and easy to get to, I've got a 1.5 quart Nalgene water bottle. I like this size. It just works better for me than the 1 quart. I don't know, come to like it. And then I think this is a 16-ounce insulated thermos. This is by a company called Zojirushi, Japanese company. It is a good unit. I've had a couple of them because they've gotten lost over the years. They keep things hot that you want hot. They keep things cold that you want cold. So those just ride. This rides in the door card, driver's side door card, and this rides right in the center in one of the cup holders. Let's talk about the tools, I guess, quickly here. So these sit in the rear of the vehicle underneath the hatch. There is a hatch it's not very deep. I'd actually wish there was more space back there, but there's enough for these items. So I've got a 1/2-inch breaker bar. This is a set of metric combination wrenches. These are impact 1/2-inch sockets and socket extension, a few other like larger hex sockets, so work with my breaker bar here. And then this is the tool roll that gets used the most. I've got in here, I won't go through everything, but I've got 3/8 socket, both in standard and metric. I've got some extensions, some adapters. In here I've got metric and standard hex keys. I've got a few screwdrivers here, different sizes and types. And here I've got hex and Torx keys. The hex are both in standard and metric. These are 3/8, so they work with my socket. In here, I've got some trim tools. There's a magnet to retrieve items. That's pretty handy. There is a pen and I think a tape measure. So a few items there. And then this one also gets used a decent bit. Now this is where I've got some, crescent wrenches, type wrenches. I've got some locking pliers. I've got needle nose, side cutters. I've got some Knipex, I think they're Cobra pliers, what they're called, in a couple sizes. So I can do a lot with this kit. I can certainly change a tire. I can replace quite a bit of stuff, and I'll show you over here. I keep a service manual or a repair manual. So I've done a lot of work. I've replaced my suspension with basically these tools, and I like that they can ride in the truck and be there all the time. Let's take a look at these pouches. These are from, I believe it's Blue Ridge Gear. Yeah, Blue Ridge Overland Gear. These have been really nice. These are made in the USA. They're pretty affordable. They're see-through enough, but I like that they're also, this fabric is reinforced, so it's pretty tough. I leave my truck parked on the street and it gets 20 below sometimes, and these have not cracked. Haven't had any problems with the zippers or the plastic. So a set of jumper cables. I do like to have these. I think these are like they were the wire cutter recommendation. They're the AAA version. Not too expensive, and they really are good. They're pliable. They're a good gauge. Over here I've got a pair of gloves that are easy to find. This is sort of my I need to change a tire in the middle of the night kit. I've got a code scanner. I've got a Haynes manual. Again, I've done quite a bit of work using this on my vehicle or friends' vehicles. I've got a jump pack here. Let's see how we're doing. Yep, still got juice. So this is how I would prefer to jump start the vehicle, but because it's just that much more convenient. But sometimes this can do things that this can't. So I keep them both. I keep a few just spare parts, an air filter, a belt. I think this is a battery terminal item. This might be a spark plug, and a coil pack. So all these are new items with the exception of the coil pack. So when I replaced all my coil packs, I just kept one that I had one or two that were bad. I just replaced them all. So I know these have been used, but they should have life left in them. This package I keep in the roof basket up top. These two I keep under one of the seats. And then this one, sometimes, I usually have this in the truck, but not always. This time of year I have. This is more recovery gear or off-roading gear. So I've got a item that I can use to quickly air down. I've got an item to air up. I've got some shackles here, soft shackles. I've got a couple air tools that plumb into what I've got going on here if I just want to quickly inflate or blow something off. And then I've got a couple hard shackles. The hard shackles I use on the attaching to my bumper. The connection points are not friendly with the soft shackles, really, especially in the rear. But I like to use the soft shackles when I can. And then I've got a folding saw in here too, clearing debris from the road. So these are the items. This one is maybe 60% of the time in the vehicle. These other items have been riding in there pretty much all the time. And if I'm going to go on a road trip or tool around like I am today, all this stuff is with me. So I think that's a decent amount of stuff that I can carry with me, be prepared for a variety of situations. And I wanted to share that with you. Thanks so much.